ask about it, but nobody knows the way. No breadcrumb trail to follow through your days. It takes an axe sometimes in the sunshine and bad weather.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Ballou. Welcome to Jeannie on the Beat, Talking with the Talent, Ann Arbor's newest talk variety show, where I'll bring you up close and personal with fabulous writers and performers. My guest tonight is Davy Rothbart, a true multimedia master. He's an author, filmmaker, contributor to This American Life, and the editor and publisher of Found magazine. Welcome, Davy.
Thanks,
I'm
Jeannie.
really excited to have you here. We've got so many things to talk about.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start by just telling us about Found magazine. What is it?
Sure, Found magazine, it's just a collection of notes, letters, anything that people have found. So you're walking down the street and you see some crumpled up piece of paper and you pick it up and look at it. Maybe it turns out to be a love letter or a to-do list or someone's journal entry. People find this stuff all over the country, really all around the world, and send it into me and my friends. We slap it together into Found magazine and these Found books. And it's just amazing because some of these finds are so heartbreaking and some of them are absolutely hilarious.
Could you show us a couple
Yeah.
samples?
Actually, well, I brought with me the first find that kind of sparked the idea for doing the whole project. And this was in Chicago where I used to live. I went out to my car late one night and on my windshield was a note addressed to Mario. So my name's Davy. I'm like, who's Mario? But I opened it up and it said, Mario, I hate you. You said you had to work. Why is your car here at her place? You're a liar. I hate you. I hate you. Signed Amber. P.S. Page me later. And it's amazing because she's so upset and angry with him, but still so hopeful and in love. And of course, it wasn't even Mario's car. It was my car. And I wish she had left her number so I could have paged her and said, "Hey, you got the wrong Toyota Camry." But it was funny because I started showing this note to my friends and just kind of amazed with it. And I was surprised about how many of my friends started showing me stuff that they had found, whether it was a kid's drawing, blowing down the street, or a Polaroid they found in the gutter. And I felt like each of these finds just tells a story of its own. Each one provides like a little glimpse into the lives of strangers. I got a few other ones here. This one, college campuses are a great place to find stuff. And I live here in Ann Arbor, and I'm always finding great stuff around town. This one came from University of Texas in Austin, Texas, and it says, Jenna, can I give you a sensual massage? Then I will talk about Jesus. And I'm like, my shoulders are sore. I could use a little shoulder rub. I could use some spiritual guidance. Where's Jenna when you need her?
Praise the Lord. Pass the massage oil.
Exactly. This one came from UC Davis outside of Sacramento. And it seems like it's the answers to some pop quiz. Like the teacher gave this quiz in class. Here's 5 answers to this quiz. And you can deduce what some of the questions were just by looking at the kids' answers. But some of them I have no idea. So here's this kid's 5 answers to this pop quiz. The first one, he says, I would name my twins Mickey and Minnie. Okay. Number 2, he says, hell no, hell no. I mean, if you're going to control the U.S. Armed Forces, you have to be born and raised right here in the U.S. of A. Number 3, the book would be about the ghettos of the world. And the title would be The Ghettos of the World. Number 4, set my arms on fire using rubbing alcohol or spitting flames using rubbing alcohol. What question elicited that response, Jeannie? That's what I'm still trying to figure out. Number 5, he wrote, I love you, God. Jesus saved me. So I figured he just got a massage from Jenna or something like that.
I think he's hooked up with Jenna.
Yeah.
That's good.
A lot of these finds seem to revolve around love and relationships. And look, I've been rejected by girls in every way imaginable, right? But I can't say I've ever gotten a letter quite like this one. And this was found on the street in Brooklyn, New York, and it's written to a kid named Delane. So the girl says, Dear Delane, you and I are just friends. That's the way I wish to remain. I like you, but only as a friend. I would be happy if this doesn't affect our bond as friends. Please understand, it's not because you're not handsome enough. It's just because you and I are friends, and that's it. The reason you can't be my boyfriend is because I'm not as attracted to you as you are to me. To be honest, I just want us to be friends, that's all. It's your choice whether you want to be my friend or not. Signed, Julia. P.S. Let's just be friends. and the woman that found this note and sent it in to us, she says, I wonder if Delane ever got the subtle hint that she just wanted to be friends. even though so many of these notes are funny and will make me laugh out loud, we do get ones that are more serious, that are heartbreaking. This is a strange find. It was found in Seattle, Washington, and it's also kind of in a kid's handwriting. And it's short, but it gives you such a window into this kid's life. It says, "Dear Mommy and Daddy, I know it's hard for you to stop. I know you love me, but when you keep bringing that stuff in the house, it feels like you don't. I don't want to be rude, but I really want you to stop. Please, for me, Mommy and Daddy, don't bring it in the house. It makes a greater chance of us getting kicked out of here. I do get scared. Please, Mommy and Daddy, I love you. I just don't like it when you do it. Love, Eliza." So, just when I look at this note, it's like the economy of language is so striking. I mean, I think I counted it was like 72 words. But just through 72 words and a half sheet of paper blowing down the street, you get such a powerful sense of this poor girl. Her parents, presumably, bringing drugs into the house maybe. And so your heart really goes out for this kid, But I think that, to me, that's the magic of these found notes is that through, we're surrounded by strangers all the time, walking down the street, sitting on the bus. And, I think it's natural to be curious about the people we share the world with, And that's what these notes give us in such a poignant and powerful way, is just, that little glimpse into the lives of the people that are walking around us every day. And, and what's interesting, too, about these finds is that it's only part of the story, So it's up to you to piece together the rest of it. And I like that kind of fill-in-the-blanks aspect to it. It sparks your imagination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of mysterious. I think I heard somebody describe it as like visual eavesdropping.
Yeah. My mom calls it people watching on paper.
Watching on paper.
That's what she calls found magazine.
I love that. Yeah. So you started out. You just got this collection of things. Can you tell us a little more about how it started? And what the evolution of the whole.
How did found magazine? How did it
evolve? How did it go from concept to?
Sure. Well, it started just finding that Mario and Amber paged me, laid a note on my car, and I started collecting finds from friends, and I talked with some of my friends, and we thought we love this stuff so much, and we felt like a magazine would be a natural way for us to share what everyone's finding with everybody else. And so I really had no grand ambitions for it. Like, I was thinking very small. I spent a few months collecting these finds, and then spent 3 nights with my 12-year-old cousin in Chicago, slapping together the first issue of Found with like scissors and tape, right? We took it to Kinko's to make 50 copies. That's how grand I was thinking. And the kid working there at 3 in the morning, he was like, "Dude, this is awesome. Let's make 800 copies." And it sounded like a lot to me, but he was like, "No, we can do it cheap, and I'll help you collate and staple them." Wow. So we put up 800 copies together, had a release party where we had, maybe 100 friends came, and each bought a copy for $5. That left 700 magazines in boxes, filling my living room, filling my kitchen. My roommate at the time, this guy named Tim, he was pretty pissed off because he knew I was leaving on this trip for 6 weeks. And he was like, "You can't leave with all these boxes here." I was like, "My bad. So, see
can't
ya."
sit on the couch.
Yeah, you could not get around. And so I came back from this trip. I was like, I was really felt bad, but I came back and all the boxes were gone. And I figured, okay, he either threw them out or he put them in the basement storage area, which used to always flood and everything. He said no. He said so many people had been coming by morning, noon, and night to buy 1 copy or 3 or 5 for their friends. The neighbors actually called the police. They thought he was selling drugs out of the apartment.
Really?
Yeah. And so I was shocked and excited, just that I never imagined that my little hobby, collecting these found notes, I never imagined that it would resonate so well with people, and that there were so many other people out there that share my fascination with these scraps of paper, So I was like, well, I guess we got to print more, and we printed more of the first magazine, and then we put out the second issue. And the thing was, as the magazine started getting out there, all of a sudden our mailbox started getting full with people sending in their finds, because it really is this gigantic community art project. It only exists because people around the country are finding stuff, taking the 1 second to pick a piece of paper up off the ground, the sidewalk, the floor of the city bus, the bowling alley parking lot, the prison yard, to send us this stuff, and telling their friends about it. It just started growing in this really grassroots and organic way, where people would show the magazine to their friends would show it to their friends, and we, to the point where now, we've put out 7 magazines, and there's an 8th one coming out soon, 2 found books. We receive a couple hundred finds every week, so 10 or 20 a day get sent in, and the funny thing is, all the found mail gets sent to my folks' house, my parents' house, who live here in Ann Arbor. And I've moved around a lot, so it seemed like having a permanent address, having their house would be like kind of a easier way to do it. And so I go over there once a week or something and just pick up a crate of mail. And my mom will, she knows she's allowed to open anything she wants, and just peek through it. So she'll open some of the more interesting looking envelopes, the ones that come from overseas or the ones that have been hand decorated. And older woman who lives across the street also helps her. They have morning tea and they'll open a few envelopes. But I said if they're going to open them, they have to do what I do, which is to write a little sentence on the cover of the envelope. Put the find back in it, write a sentence that explains what the find's all about. And so it's funny. So I'll pick up the mail. Most of it's unopened, but some things have been opened. And my mom or the elderly woman neighbor have written a line or two of explaining what the find is on the envelope. There's always a couple envelopes that have no they've been opened, but there's no writing on them. And inevitably, that's like a Polaroid of someone's dick or something like that. That's like,
just speechless.
Yeah, I can just picture this old woman that lives across the street just opening it up, just being like, just gonna tuck that right back in there.
I'll just put that one away.
Yeah, it's amazing what how many pictures we get of people's private parts. Like, I didn't realize that people were taking that many of those pictures and then losing them. So it's always interesting. You never know what to expect.
Do you think people sometimes send you things? How do you know if they actually were found, or if people are just hoping to get their own stuff published?
Right. Well, we have one rule for Found Magazine, which is that it must really be found. So we ask people. It's the honor system, but we ask people to, and the truth is, once you start looking for stuff, the truth is far, far stranger than fiction, and you'll realize this because the found notes that you can find once you start looking for them are more beautiful, magical, weird, bizarre, amazing than anything you can make up, and so it's been really, so I mean, I think I just trust the people to really look for stuff and really find stuff. I mean, I don't know, I think most people respect that.
Well, so I mean, this has just grown so phenomenally. I understand it's taken you many places you never thought that you would go, including the David Letterman show, not once, but twice.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. So how did that come about, and what was that like?
When the first Found book came out a few years ago, Simon & Schuster had published the book, and they, I don't know, they had a publicity department. They got in touch, they showed the stuff, the book to Letterman, and I guess he loved it. I mean, I think that's the kind of thing that's right up his alley. He loves seeing like the interior lives of ordinary people, and he loves celebrating, ordinary people, and that's what Found Magazine is made up of, people like you, people like me, and so I think he really got it, So he asked me to come on the show, and we did it a couple times. We had a blast. So
that's kind of launching you in front of the camera a couple times, but you also have been behind the camera at times. So I'd like to hear about your film. What's going on with that? You've got a new documentary about love for the terminally romantic coming out next year called My Heart is an Idiot. I love the title. What's that about?
Yeah, so My Heart is an Idiot is it's directed by my friend David Micklejohn, and what happened was he was a guy I didn't really know too well. I met him a couple times in passing, and he was really interested in Found, and he said he wanted to come along. Every year, me and my brother Peter do these nationwide Found magazine tours where I'll share some of my favorite Found notes that we've received over the years. I'll read them out loud. Peter plays songs based on some of the Found notes. He's just an incredible...
So he's composing music?
Yeah, he's an incredible musician and singer and songwriter. So he writes these amazing songs, some just beautiful or ridiculous songs, and we perform them just around small theaters and bars around the country. And so we were doing that year we did a 50-state Found tour because we realized